Hi YouTube family. I just want to talk to you a little bit about my background and some things that have happened to me. I used to have a lot of apocalyptic type end time dreams around 2012. It was a year or two after a near death that I had in 2010, where God has really used this near death. And before you ask, I did not go to heaven. But I know Jesus Christ is my Lord, so I didn't need to. And He healed me from this near death and the injuries I suffered. And He brought me back. And He brought me back to Him and drew me away from all of the worldly things that I had gotten myself into. He stripped everything out of my life. And He used this time to refine me with fire from heaven. My heart changed, my thoughts changed, my desires and priorities. And while I was born again, when I was around 20, I had been living for myself, and my life was all about me. And the Lord wanted to make it very clear that this life is really all about Him. I lost a lot of friends during that time too, and life had become a little bit lonely, but God had blessed me with some amazing little kitties. Baby, who passed away a few years ago, and Miss Josie and Sweet Pea, who I love very much. Okay, friends, I have had no dreams from the Lord since around 2012. And now that my head is clear and my anxieties have been lowered, I asked the Lord if there was anything in my heart or my life that had kept me from hearing from Him in dreams, and why I felt kind of far from Him. And God showed me just a few weeks ago a few hidden things that were deep in the corners of my heart that were really unsightly to Him. And God is showing me these little things and wants them cleaned out of my heart. So with all my heart, I talked to the Lord on May 11th, and I told Him I wanted to have a purpose and to be involved in kingdom purpose. And if He wanted me to share my dreams online, I would, but I would have to know for absolute sure it was from Him and not from me trying to get attention for me. And I told the Lord if He wanted me to do this, it was up to Him to give me a dream for confirmation, and I would do nothing until He gave me a dream. So I gave it up to Him, and I thanked Him, and I went about my day. Well, that next morning, in my absolute amazement that the Lord of all would answer my prayers in such a tangible way and want to use such an imperfect person such as myself, He gave me a dream. It was amazing, and I was so excited that He had been showing me and giving me this confirmation. So here's the dream. I found myself walking out at night in a residential area, and I felt I was in deep danger, and so I stayed up close near the homes that were all lit up. I came across a bar where my sister was, and I was relieved to see her. There were many people there that I kind of knew, and then there was a big gang of girls who started getting really angry with me. And so I grabbed my sweaters, and I had about 3 or 4 sweaters, and I'm not sure why. And I tried to leave, and they stopped me. I looked around for my sister, and she wasn't around. And one of the girls kept telling me that I had done something to her back some years ago. And I asked her name, and I said, I don't even know who you are. And she kept insisting, and I still told her, I don't even know you. If I did anything to you, I'm sorry, but I don't remember you, and I don't know who you are. So I quickly left and found myself walking along the interstate in the pitch dark. People driving by me were becoming so unruly and crazy, and they were driving out of control, like they were like in some Mad Max film or whatever at night. And the headlights were blaring, and they were coming off the roads and into the valley next to the interstate, and people were running from something. But when I asked one woman about this, she smiled, and she just had no idea. So everyone was flooring it into the valley and into the dark with their high beams coming in and out of the trees. And I thought, well, should I go with them? So I was suddenly in my little sports car, but I couldn't go anywhere because the water was too deep all around me. I tried to drive to the right, and it was so deep and so floody I wasn't able to. And so then I tried to drive where all these other people were speeding to, but it was way too flooded for my little sports car. So I decided to go back to the road and get back onto the freeway heading south. And I was barely able to cross the street with all the people driving out of control back and forth. And finally I came to a small shopping area, and I looked intently for freeway signs, and I had to get out and go through a store. When I came to out of this store, there were 4 women who said they were cops, who clearly were not dressed like cops, and they stopped me and they demanded I pay them. I said, when did Macy's start charging people to leave the stores? So I tried to be as nice as I could, but I was so scared. But I opened my bags, and I had a delicious barbecued ribs bag, and I gave each one of these women, 3 of the women, 1 rib, and they chowed them down. The other wanted money, and she was large and obese, and she was holding a huge bag that I could see through, and it had money in it, and she wanted all my cash. I had always kept my money stashed, and I was going to hand her all of my cash, and then I woke up.